So we're back to Logger's Point here in the Hunter Classic after having one of our best hunts ever just a couple of weeks ago on this very map. And we've got a new bow with us. We've got Binky the Hunter's bow, one step closer to having 1,000 kills with every bow in the game. And speaking of 1,000, we're carrying the shotgun today because it turns out we're only 5 pheasant harvests away from getting 1,000 pheasants. So gonna be a bit of a different hunt, kind of a blend of sort of pheasant hunting and mule deer hunting. And we'll see what it leads to. So often, the best trophies come from when you're hunting something else. And it looks like we're starting off pretty decent here. Got a solid buck walking up over the hill. Not a monster by any stretch, but a 180 to 205. Got him grunting right there with the horizon behind him. That's pretty neat. So it looks like he's going to be a solo. I'd imagine that's the case. He grunted earlier, and to get no grunts in between, I'm thinking he's by himself. So we're gonna try to scoot into bow range, but that's the type of thing we'd like to see. So he's into about 30, and actually gonna stop there. Since we've got the basically like variation of the Parker, I think we can get that. Now, I meant to bring the range fighting sight. I kind of realized that as we got the bow out, we don't have it, but nonetheless, we got the shot, and in our last hunt, it was not being stubborn, not just sticking to a predetermined path that seemed to lead to one of our best typicals ever, and then that really nice albino buck. So we're going to try to take that approach today. If things slow down, if we're not finding mule deer bucks where we plan on, we're going to just fast travel to some other location. But starting off with a 187 ain't a bad deal, and we're just going to start to move up this direction. Eventually going this way, we'll get into pheasant territory, but as I said, if we're not finding deer, we'll go elsewhere. I think we're finding deer. We just got another mule deer grunt. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a herd of bucks too. I just had another track back there. This guy's 85 to 105, so it could be decent. And really the moment of truth with that is going to be like this track up here. If there's 3 mule deer buck tracks in a row, probably we've got 5. And I really don't want to move too fast and risk spooking them. That looks like it could be. Oh, that's the same buck though. Now, this will be interesting. Could be either one then. Well, now we've got ourselves a predicament. There are at least 3 bucks in the area based on calls. And this guy's the only one we've seen. He's in here at like 30. I really wish we had that range finding sight, but I think next time he stops, if we don't see any sign of another one, I gotta imagine we can get away with this. And maybe we can at least see all the other bucks that are in the area. Still no sign crouching up. And he's got to be around 20. Might even just take the shot on the move. That'll work. Didn't hear any footsteps. Oh, okay. Well, there was a couple others there. I saw another one back there that also wasn't that big. So he probably missed out on at least one. And unfortunately, they ran in the direction of the other grunt I had. That one would be that other track. It was going a couple different directions, but maybe he's still coming in. I mean, at this point, I don't know what's going on. There's another buck, the exact same size as what we got. Still not the one that's coming in from the left. So far, at least, we've been fine with our shooting. That's a new trail. I haven't complained about too many deer many times in the past, and I won't do it today. But this is madness for the very beginning of the hunt. So that's our new buck. Definitely the worst of the bunch so far. I gotta think, I mean, we're still gonna hang here just in case, because the way things are going, who knows? But I gotta think that other buck that we've been waiting on probably did get spooked by the ones that took off. Now, he was up to 105 kilo or something like that. That doesn't mean he can't be big, but it probably doesn't give him the best of odds. So maybe what we'll do is just slowly kind of sneak around, pick all these up, and that should be everything that's calm, maybe other than that one, if he's still coming in. So just carefully as we have a doe calling now, because why wouldn't we? Lung, liver, intestine for the first one. He's a, oh, that was so close. So I've always wanted a 123.456. They've since added a 4th decimal, so you need a 7. We had 123.4645. One of these days it's gonna happen. Apparently that's more rare than a 200 whitetail, because both whitetail and muley, like an average size one, scores in that range. So we've shot plenty that could do it, and it's never quite happened. I guess between whitetail and muley, probably around 8,000 deer. That is probably the closest we've ever been, but our third buck over here, still no footsteps, still no additional calls. I'm thinking that other one's gone, and I also think we're going to be okay with that, because, again, based on the weight, I wouldn't exactly give him a high chance of being giant. 56 for that. And the only thing I'd say, we'll at least kind of remember that weight estimate. Maybe we pick it up later and go and check it out. Now, this might get interesting. We've got our first whitetail buck of the hunt coming in. Just kind of getting the 20 meters there. But as we've been sitting here calling him in, this rooster pheasant has walked right in as well. I really don't know how it's going to react when we try to take him out, but we've got the shotgun loaded with birdshot. If it takes off, maybe we can get him from the stand. I didn't hear it go. Oh, it just... Alright. We don't need to get him from the air. The plan is going to be to take most of them from the air. But if it's just going to stand there like that, we might as well take it. That's 4 to go until 1,000 total pheasant harvest. So 120 for him. And then our little bonus pheasant, which, by the way, it really makes no difference if you shoot him off the ground other than you're not eligible for leaderboards in some competitions with ground shots. But this one being fairly small, 23.5 score, makes no difference to me. We get the GM reward, and we can scoot towards the center of the map. So we tried the fast travel to the north thing like we did in the last hunt. Not as much luck there, but we did go and pick up the range finding site as you saw, so worth going up and grabbing that. Well, go figure. A new hunt, and I'll explain why. Same result, a nice big frame muley coming in as the first thing. So if you disconnect your headset and it defaults to a new audio device, it just cuts the audio and you can't get it back. And I did that by complete accident sitting here. So to have any game sound for the rest of the video, we had to start a new hunt. And what I did was make it 9 a.m. and head back down here to the south where we were going looking for pheasants. And the first thing we get is another solid muley buck. So he's around 30. I think we'll probably pop up here because that hill's going to get in the way. Try to get him before he goes behind. I think he's going to stop. That makes life a lot easier. And something sneaking in behind us here. Gotta be a doe or it would have spooked. I thought I just saw it. I mean, she almost has to be like standing staring at us somewhere because I never heard her go. But I don't see her. I honestly have no idea. There was something around. Maybe it spooked and I didn't hear it take off regardless. I mean, there's old tracks, what looks to be a mule deer doe there. Our second solid buck of the hunt, I think maybe the same estimate as that first one. Real high frame this time. Got him spine one and right lung to drop him, 181 for him. And there should be, down in this area around our little deployable tower here, a number of pheasants we can maybe go after with the maisto. And right up there, maybe our first opportunity. We've got a couple of roosters here though. That's just back over that hill. We'll kind of see what happens. Let's try to get this one first, and what we'll actually do is basically run over top of it, as opposed to whistling and flushing it. Reason being, just maybe, this one over here is going to just hunker down, as opposed to fleeing. If we just whistled, every bird in the immediate vicinity is going to take off, so the call's still kind of showing there, right up, basically on top of this hill. I didn't hear the additional wing flaps, so it may well be, yep, there it is, hunkered down right there. So we could get number 2 and 3 if we shoot halfway decent. Completely lost out of that one, but there we go. That one, it had an amazing ability to fly exactly right behind our shotgun. Honestly, a red dot would have really helped there, but got the job done. 2 more down, and that means 2 more to go until we reach 1,000 pheasant harvest. Slowly but surely, getting to 1,000 with a lot of things, and getting 1,000 with every single bow in the game has been a goal of mine for probably close to 10 years now, so it's nice as we kind of work towards that. There's all these other things we can do in the process. And so, rooster pheasant number 3, hopefully we can get all roosters. It's a little more interesting than just shooting hens, and especially having to start a new hunt. I'd imagine that's a little more likely. 25 score for him, I think that's our best one thus far. And what we'll do then is kind of scoot down into this area. A lot of pheasants down here as well. So as long as we can just kind of move slowly and not just spook them all, maybe hit the locator a little bit, that shouldn't be an issue, and hopefully we can find more deer along the way. And it sure didn't take long to find potentially number 4. Not really sure what he's going to do because he's not hunkered down yet. He could just take off. If he does hunker down, maybe this time we can actually flush him. I honestly don't have a clue. Maybe he did sit down. Well then, let's flush him. and just take them down. It's really tough without a red dot when they fly straight up like that, because you gotta time your shot as they're rising, and it's behind your shotgun as you do it. But that actually probably frees us up to maybe try to do a little more deer hunting, and just whenever we find another pheasant, we'll be good to go to harvest number 1000. So probably our smallest one thus far, sub 2 kilo, 22.4 score. I think that other one was 22 point something. And yeah, now I think we might just sort of start to look for deer down through here, and we'll leave pheasants to chance encounters. We might just have our first use of the shotgun slugs. Got a 185 to 210 muley out there. He might just eclipse 200, I can't tell, but he actually just spooked. So we need to go ahead and load those in, slap the slug scope on there, and really, I think I'd feel comfortable at like 75 meters, something like that. Got some ground to cover, but that ain't a bad looking buck, and I feel like so often, down here in this crater by the big rope bridge, we'll find some kind of decent buck. Worth dropping by here as we've kind of had to start over. Man, I don't see him anywhere over here, but I can't imagine he could have gotten out of here. Everything is just basically a cliffside, all on this side of the canyon. I'm pretty sure he didn't go trotting out back behind us, so he almost has to be like up here in these trees. But somehow he's completely gotten out of sight. That's still old fleeing. That'd be, I think, before we spotted him. Oh, there's a, wait a minute. There's a nice whitetail there too? And they're just over there in the far edge. He's kind of stuck in the trees right now. We're right about that distance I talked about. Let's scoot in just a touch closer. Maybe we can get them both. There's no way the whitetail doesn't run this way ultimately. Now into 72. I think we're going to go for this. And I think the move's even going to be take our shot and then immediately reload, because I gotta think the whitetail ends up running past us. That should be about right. Didn't drop him, but they are moving this way. So whatever happens, we can maybe get additional shots. That's another hit on him that dropped him. Did the whitetail get through? Now they're still back there. What is going on? I've never seen them actually get caught up back there before. But the whitetail is stuck. I guess we'll get him. I mean, he's nothing special anyway. And I mean, quite frankly, good to know. If you spook animals in here. Okay, well, that works. That feels a little better than shooting them stuck, but anyway, if you spook things near the canyon, in the canyon, and then you're wondering where they go, back here in this corner is a good place to check. So now, 2 decent bucks, probably like a 150 here, maybe high 140s. Got him in chest and stomach, but at 34 meters that dropped him. And then, maybe more interestingly, does our muley top 200. He's gonna be real close. I think he's got that frame where if it's completely perfect, it's about 205. Maybe a deduction or two, he ends up in the 201, 202 range. I don't see anything that would keep him shy. He'll be close. And we hit him right along the first time at 72. He's a 193, by the way. And then in testing the second time, I'm surprised, even at 70 plus, with a single lung shot, he tanked that. Anyway, a couple of solid kills for our efforts, and not too bad getting the nice whitetail as well. So now we're going to start to scoot north. Still need one more pheasant, and there's a lot that we haven't now explored in this particular hunt. There's the rabbit that we're after. I just realized we still have slugs loaded, so let's back up here for a second. Just happened to pick up a max weight cottontail track, and that of course has the chance to be something pretty decent since they're scored by weight, so it's still there. Really curious what the spotting gives us, but since it ain't coming up, we'll just blast it, and we'll go in blind and find out what we're looking at. But you see the 1.6 to 2 kilo track. Not a lot of those we find, so gonna follow it when we do. 1.8 kilo ain't bad. 1775, not a special one, but 60 GM to do that, we'll take that any day. Man, that's a good looking Bobcat. 20 to 30 kilos, 7 to 10 score estimate. And it would be on the day that we don't have any kind of decent weapon. Now there's a tent right here. I kind of think that's the move. Maybe grab the 223 and just try to blast him. I'm sure he spooked when we shot that cottontail a minute ago. But he turned towards us, like right when I was kind of getting the spotting scope zoomed in. Got a big ol' head on him. And that is how they're scored. I think we can actually walk down here. He should be far enough that's not going to affect anything. Might be able to get him from the stand. Well, we just about got into shotgun range on the thing. I couldn't figure out where it was, but it was behind this hill the entire time. We do have the 223. Man, that looks big. I'd be shocked if that's not a real solid Bobcat. Max weight and score estimates go a long way to give a little confidence too, so gonna get prone here. I think the 223 can get a kill shot at that angle. Man, it just looks massive. Just turn around for us. That'll bring him down. And let's go and see, do we actually have something special in terms of Bobcats? I mean, he'll be 9+, I have no doubt about that. But a 9+ Bobcat, 9.0, 9.1, that's nothing special. If you get 9.3, 9.4 north of that, then you're looking at a pretty good one. And I have hopes, at least, that that's going to be what we're looking at here. Now, the thing about it is, a Bobcat that weighs less, that's got a skull that goes 9+, looks enormous. A Bobcat that weighs more and has an enormous looking skull, that's when you've got a really big one. And if this weight is good, I think we're on to something. So the weight is 24.2, that's good. What do we have? 9.359, not bad at all. I'm not even 100% sure if that's our PB or not. Definitely going to take a trophy shot of him. I'll figure out the tax or not thing in a moment, but very much worth going, grabbing the 223, and taking that guy out. That's a big old Bobcat. Gonna try to find some kind of decent pose. I really don't like either trophy shot pose, so that looked kind of odd. Probably try to figure out our own here. And you know, the thing about Bobcats, they always look so thoroughly unamused, but I think this is gonna be what we go with. Maybe zoom in a little bit more. And I'll have to go back and look. For years, our personal best Bobcat was like a high 9.1, 9.18 something, somewhere in there. We finally eclipsed 9.2 and have gone up slowly but surely since then. I don't know if we've had one quite that big, 9.3599. I'll go back and check, and we'll just continue making our way north. We're just kind of reaching Pheasant territory, so we probably need that shotgun again, and actually, that's what I unequipped, so I better go get it. And I've got some pretty good news. That was indeed our biggest Bobcat ever, 9.31. Had been our personal best. They only get to about 9.6, so that was a pretty solid one. And we'll be adding that back to our trophy lodge then, when we get there. So let's re-equip the Maisto, get our bird shot, still got the slug scope in case we need it, and we should be good to go. Now with one additional personal best, and Loggers Point strikes again, 2 hunts in a row, where we've gotten something really special. And so long as we can make a decent shot here, we've got 2 different roosters that could be number 1,000 for our lifetime harvest here in the Hunter Classic. And I think just for the interest of doing it properly, we'll get behind this one and try to flush it as opposed to run over top of it. And I guess if it doesn't really cooperate, maybe the other one will. So we got to be careful with the hill. Let's go ahead and flush him from here. Find a little at an angle. Missed him the first time, got him the second time. And that should be number 1,000. And I think especially with our now taxidermized Bobcat, I did go back and do that. Added him to the main lodge. So long as this is number 1,000, I didn't miscount it. I'm pretty confident of that. We're probably going to go back and take a look at that. So before that, let's just confirm. We actually hit him both times, 27 meters, 44 meters, brought him down a 23 score. And there you go. Pheasant number 1,000 here in the Hunter Classic. That is pretty cool. That's, I don't think one of the original species, but one of the oldest species in the game. Nice to finally cross that off the list. And on that note, let's jump back to the trophy lodge then and take a look at our massive Bobcat. Now the game crashed the first time, so now the 3rd different session we've had to create just to make this video, but I really can't complain considering we ended up getting this guy because of the initial issue we had with the sound, 9.3599. And actually I think that looks pretty good there over on the wall. We've had a Bobcat here, and frankly I've just overlooked it all the time, and it's maybe the one advantage of the crash. We're in single player and we can at least adjust the pose, because he was just kind of looking over towards the wall. But that is a massive Bobcat, almost 25 kilograms. 9.3599, our personal best by about 0.4, which that doesn't sound like a big upgrade, but when they don't even get up to 10, 0.4 is a pretty significant percentage of the maximum score that we've just gone up by. So it's been kind of cool lately, adding some trophy predators and actually a lot of stuff to these smaller platforms in the lodge. We've had lynx, we've had obviously the rare wolf, our 270 plus turkeys, the albino pheasant last year. This lodge is incredible. And we've done so much with big game, but adding some small and medium game to the list really does complete the thing. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully more of that as we go along chasing whether it is 400 non-typical muleys, 650 reindeer, or other things like that. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.